see that?
Leon. Oh, yeah?
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
I'm good again. I noticed that. Take your time. You got another time? Yeah. I do, yes, sir, thank you.
Well, there's a brand new double wide sit back on the washer. Nobody was living up there, but there is like a multiple seat that they used to have a big. The lift station.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at barbecue.
Budget crunches and you're not wanting to use it.
Lord wants to see, that's the seat. Want me to sit there.
Everybody's anxious. Caroline, what time do you have? What time do you have? All right. Good afternoon, everybody. We'll call this meeting to order. So join us and Commissioner Gandy with the invocation and the pledge of allegiance. Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Commissioner Gandy?
Here.
Commissioner Trujillo?
Here.
Commissioner Sanchez? Commissioner Butcher?
Here.
Mayor Thomas?
Here. Now,
Join me in a word of prayer, please, and then the pledge. Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for this day. Lord, we just thank you for the ability to live in this free country. Lord, we just pray for this commission tonight, Lord. I pray that you would give us foresight and wisdom, Lord, and the discernment to decide what is right for this community. Lord, I just pray that you would lead and guide us in a direction that would be positive for our community. Lord, I just pray for each commissioner, Lord, that you would give them the courage to hold their opinion, to do what they think is right for this community. Lord, I just pray for each one of our employees. Lord, I pray that you watch over them and keep them safe. Lord, I just pray for our armed services, that you would keep them safe while they stand in harm's way between us and whatever group is attacking us. Lord, again, we just thank you for each and every one that is here tonight. Lord, I just pray that you keep them safe in your arms. In Jesus Christ's name we pray.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No state. No state back. All right. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda as listed.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
I'll second it.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to consider the regular meeting minutes of May 9th, 2016.
I'll second that.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Commissioners and staff report. We'll start out with commissioners. Commissioner Sanchez. Anything to report? No? Okay. Commissioner Butcher.
Nothing at this time.
Very good. Commissioner Gandy.
You're not having anything at this moment.
Very good. Commissioner Trujillo.
Good to go, thank you.
Okay, and I don't have anything in particular. All right. We'll start with you, Gary.
Thank you, your mayor and commission. We have a couple of items to report out. We have it as a non-action item, the discussion of the Parks and Rec board appointment. We have, just for clarification, that's something we'll have to deal with before the end of June. And we have Marla Price, whose term is ending at the end of June. She's still willing to stay in office appointment. The other thing I'd like to mention is the fact that not everyone has had the opportunity of meeting her, but we have Sabrina Ottman here representing Tyler Technologies, getting us set up with our new Encode software and working with us individually to teach us some things. And she'll be here for the next month working with us and helping to implement several things. And that's what I have on my plate.
Anything else? Nothing else? That's it?
That's it at the moment.
Okay. Ms. Ball?
No, I haven't.
Ms. Juarez?
Nothing second.
Carolyn? Chief for the members? Yes, sir, Mr. McMahon, nothing? That was easy. Moving well along. All right. Let's go into the non-action item, discussion of Parks and Recreation Board appointment. Gary?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, your mayor and commission, we have Marla Price, who is still interested in staying on that board. And with the situation that we're in right now, the city manager being gone, we decided it'd be better to wait until the next meeting before we go ahead and bring this to you, for you to make your choice on who would sit on that board. But at least you have a chance now to come up with ideas if you think anyone else should be on that.
Okay. Did you say Ms. Price still wants to be on the board, or would you care to address the commission?
I would like
Come on,
to be
step up. Marley, go ahead.
would like to remain on the board. I think we're doing a lot of good, and I want to continue to help.
It is a county position too.
Yeah, the extraterritorial zoning member.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you, Ms. Price. Okay, we'll go ahead and go into the action items. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to consider resolution 2016-36, city employee retirement healthcare plan.
I'll second that.
We have a second motion. We also need to, instead of just a normal motion, we need to make a motion to entertain one of the options. We have 5 options available to us. And I was speaking with Patrick before the meeting. We need to file a motion along with accepting a particular option. And once we have a second for that particular option, then it'll go to vote. And depending on the turnout of the vote, we'll either accept that option or go to another option. Does that make sense? Okay, so you wanna reissue your motions, if you would?
Yeah, I'll rescind my motion, and I would just like to open up the floor to discussion of the five options prior to making a consideration.
Okay, the floor is open.
options.
Yeah. Do you have a particular option that you're in favor of?
Basically,
Okay, that's right. These are the five options. Let me read that for you guys in the audience also, in case you don't have a handout. Option 1 is 85% of the current plan for age, service, and New Mexico retired healthcare, I believe it's authority. Okay. Then option 2 is 85% of Medicare supplement for age, service, and NMHRCA. Option 3 is 50% of the current plan for the same. Option 4 is 50% of Medicare supplement for the same. And option 5 is no retiree health care due to current economic conditions, and the expenditure would have to be funded through reserves. Those are the 5 options that we have, folks. So we're going to discuss those 5 options and which ones we're in favor of, and then go to vote. And I understand it's a very involved resolution. A lot of opinions have come to play. I believe that the employees the majority were in favor of it, and I believe the citizens, the majority were not in favor of it. So there's a lot of things that we have to take into account. Mainly that it would dip into our reserves if we were to select any one of the first 4 options. And we have a resolution in place that prevents us from dipping into those reserves. We would have to change resolution in order to do that. Does that make sense? Okay. The floor is open for discussion.
well, I started this thing kind of way back when, and I know the situation the city is in, you know, we don't want to dip into our reserves. But I am like for the 85%. And I know we would have to reconsider and go back, you know, we don't want to drop below that 40%. But as commissioner and for the employees of the city, I just stand behind, you know, what started and would like to see it move forward, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, Commissioner Butcher, which option were you in favor of?
The number one, 85%, were, it was option 1, it's where 85% of the current plan of the age and service. And I think that would be an excellent plan. And once again, I know it's going back, you know, dipping into the reserves, but we possibly could build that back up in the future. I don't know, you know, I know times are rough right now, but it's something that I think the employees need. It'll give them an incentive to stay aboard.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate that. Commissioner Sanchez?
Well, after they retire, you know, if they come to this point of 60 or whatever, what I suggest is probably not here. It's probably any one of these.
Okay.
But anyway, I would favor that each employee, because nobody's going to retire at the same time, and just a few, maybe 1 or 2 at one time. That person that retires, I think they could have the option they want. Instead of, because some of them may not like option 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, or 1. But if everybody could just say, well, this is what I choose, because I'm the one who's going to retire. I mean, that year, because there's probably maybe 2 or 3 that would retire in 1 year, maybe not. But for that one person is retiring, I think they would like the best option for themselves. So that's what I would say.
Okay. I appreciate that. You understand that option is not an option.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Maybe that would be, you know,
I appreciate that. I do. I understand. I know what you're saying. Commissioners?
Well, just, can you break down that 50% Medicare substitute? Can you break that down?
Are you asking just for
Numbers.
my own clarification,
Yes.
numbers as to how much it would cost the city?
Yes, sir.
I need to scroll down real quick. The Medicare option, because we're not only providing Medicare for the older retirees, but we're also giving the option for the New Mexico Health Retiree Authority. We're looking at basically $146,000 a year for the current cost, and with projections of it increasing basically over the years to within a 5-year time to $172,000 a year. The majority of those costs are related to the current employees, the younger ones, and that would be participating in Mexico Healthcare Authority. The portion that would be related to the retirees, I don't have that number in front of me, so I can't give it to you exactly. Just a brief memory of what we discussed in the last meeting where we had this. I want to say it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $4,000 a year per employee, something like that, of those that would be age 60 at July 1st of 2015, and then after 25 years of service. Those were the two eligibility requirements.
And that would just substitute their Medicare costs, right, at 50%?
Yes, it would help that, yes.
And currently, overall, the first figure you give is for combined all of our employees, right?
Yes.
So now you're saying about 4,000 per person.
Exactly.
So if all four of them decide to retire, they should be 16. That's what we're doing.
We're looking at that right now.
And that number?
That's just based on my memory. I don't know that exactly. I'd have to go double check the staff report.
And that 16, where would that put us at?
Any amount that's in excess of basically $1,000 will drop us under our 40% reserve requirement. But we're very close to that border right now. So we would still have to amend our reserve requirement in the budget.
Anything else, Commissioner? Commissioner Yang?
Absolutely refuse anything other than option 5. Due to the current situation, I understand we have some valued employees that have been here years and years and years, but like he said, the cost continues to go up. There's no way to recoup that money. There's no way to increase. I mean, all you do is increase all the other things, or you're going to have increases in wages and other things just as inflation goes up anyway. So you tack that onto that, it just makes it a very difficult situation for a community that doesn't have a way to we don't provide a product, we just provide a service. So it makes it extremely difficult. So I'm against anything other than option 5.
Got another question.
Commissioner Sanchez, you raised his hand.
Have you checked the one the school, the school has, they have their retirement. Have you checked what might be the difference between this one and that one?
I haven't, Commissioner Sanchez, but I don't think the schools supplement very much of it at all, if any. I know that they have their own, I think it's probably going to be in Mexico healthcare. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Here. Okay. And that's not subsidized by the schools, is it?
There is a contribution that the schools have to pay, and based on what I've read, it's essentially 1.5%
Okay.
of the employee's salary.
Right. Commissioner Reed?
Okay, let's take a step back. Okay, go back to the Medicare. So currently we pay 100%, right?
Of employees' healthcare?
Medicare, yes.
No, sir.
What do we pay currently?
Currently, we pay nothing for
They
Medicare.
just withdraw from their
Yeah.
salary or hourly rates, right?
Well, let me step back. As far as a benefit to the employees during the time of when we generate our payroll, there are certain taxes that we have to pay, and Medicare is one of them. We pay the full amount that we're liable to pay, and of course, the employee's contribution as well. And,
That's a match, right?
yeah, it's just a match.
Yeah, that's a match. So what I'm saying is that, let's say we have 100 employees, and let's say one employee retires this year, that would dip us down to where we would have to pull our reserves. But if not one of them retired, that wouldn't affect our reserves, right? Am I correct?
If an employee retires, depending on the position, we're going to need to rehire someone to replace that employee. And there are initial costs with hiring. There are also payouts with any employee who retires that are not budgeted. So for example, any accumulated vacation, maybe a sick leave payout. Oftentimes, depending on the employee, it can be a big hit. depends on the employee. You know, some may not have much in regards to leave liabilities when they retire. So essentially, what I'm saying is this, that just because someone retires doesn't mean we're necessarily going to have any kind of savings in our budget for salaries. One thing I should mention, and it was brought to my attention, is the fact that our last month's gross receipt tax was a couple $100,000 less than it was the previous month, and that was part of the staff report.
Thank you.
Gary, can you provide us the city manager's stance on this?
He put it in the staff report. Essentially, he's recommending that we go with option 5.
And this is really a tough call for myself as well. I think, you know, last year we talked at, or we looked at giving the city employees a raise, and we decided not to because of the fact that the economy was kind of unstable. We looked at it in 6 months. Well, those 6 months came by, and we still were not able to do that because of the economy. It was going down, and it's still down. So, as everybody knows, and so. What I'm looking at, I'm trying to look at the big picture. You know, we weren't able to do that with all the employees back then. We're trying to do this to a select few, and I love the idea. I just don't like the timing of it at this point. And really, I'm totally I'm against dipping into the reserves. We accepted a resolution, basically a law that says we can't and we won't, and we made that public to you guys. And I want to stand by that. And I understand there's different viewpoints on this, and I mean, I think it's a great idea, don't get me wrong, but that's the way, and actually, the recent survey that was given out, the employees were in favor of it by a small majority. The public was not. And it's your tax dollars, so we're very concerned about that, and we listen to your needs and your desires as well. So as far as, I think, in the majority rules as far as the public is concerned. So I guess we'll put it to a vote now.
I'll make a motion to consider resolution 2016-36, city employee retirement health care plan 5.
You said 5?
Yes, sir.
Do we have a second?
Yes, sir.
I'll second that.
We have a second.
Maybe repeat that one more time, just so I'm clear.
Okay.
We said option 5, correct?
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
Option 5 is on the table. All right, let's take a roll call vote on that. Caroline, would you please?
Commissioner Gaines,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Butcher,
No.
Commissioner Sanchez, reluctant to vote. Mayor Thomas.
Yes. Option 5, motion carries for option 5, which is no retiree health care due to current economic conditions, and the expenditure would have to be funded through reserves. Now, we'll go into the next resolution, which was to amend the city fund balance reserve policy, which is basically a moot resolution. Is that correct, Patrick?
It is. I think the cleanest way to approach that is, if I could suggest, based on the motion for the first action item, would be a motion to vote no on that. So that way we keep numbers clear and everybody's absolutely clear about what happens with that. So I think a no vote would be
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Go ahead.
I make a motion to consider resolution 2016-37, amendment of city fund balance reserve party, and option would be no.
We have a second. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain another motion.
Make a motion we consider resolution 2016-38, approval of 2016-2017 interim budget.
Second it.
We have a second. Gary?
If I may, your mayor and commission, this is essentially the same budget then that we presented to you at our April 20th budget meeting. No changes to that, which of course means that we're keeping our cash reserves at 40% for our general fund and 25% for the enterprise fund. Because I don't have any details here in the staff report, I
No, but I see that our grocery receipts taxes are down from, quite a bit from April to May, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
About 210,000, is that correct?
206,000, and I forgot to change it. But
Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay. All right, very good. That's quite a drop. Okay. Any other discussion?
No, sir.
Very good. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to consider Resolution 2016-39, agreement between the city and after-school adventures for summertime adventure program.
Second.
We have a second. Gary?
Thank you, Mayor and Commission. Essentially, this is just an agreement between the city and the After Schools Adventure Program that allows us to use the monies that are being donated by, what's the name of it, J.F. Maddox Foundation, as a pass-through to fund this extra program. So they're going to support some additional activities. One of the positives is we've had our youth programs director in communication with these people, and they've come to an agreement on some program plans and how to work this. So it's going to be a smooth transition, and fortunately funded by a very generous donation.
All right, very good. Any questions, commissioners? Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'm going to entertain another motion.
I'd like to make a motion to consider resolution 2016, I guess this would be 40, to approve the publishing and advertisement of ordinance to cause a zoning change from Zone D industrial to Zone Z commercial for county fair additional blocks 5, 6, and 7, and 8.
Second.
We have a second. Who takes this, Crystal? Or
Yes.
all right, Crystal,
I'd like
you
to
would?
turn this over to Crystal.
Very good.
All right, James. Lots of weight there.
Right, we had, took this to planning and zoning, and it was, approved by them to, for you guys to consider the motion just to change. Did you get the blocks that were highlighted out on that? That is the blocks just south of the fairgrounds. To change that to, commercial zone, which is, it was previously, and that is what it is in our, comprehensive plan, is what it's supposed to flow into, so. We didn't have any objections with the plan,
Okay.
so.
Very good. Any discussion, commissioners? Okay. Anybody else? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion.
Consider resolution up for variance at 1828 North 3rd Street for RV park site requirements for structure within 15 feet of an RV pad.
Do we have a second? We have a second. Crystal?
This was took to planning and zoning. We have an RV that has an attached, extra room. They say it's not attached, but it does sit butted up to it. Planning and zoning, denied this variance to go through. It's against our codes in RV parks. Every structure is supposed to be within 15 feet away from an RV for fire safety and hazard reasons, so it was denied in planning and zoning.
Okay, and that's your recommendation as well at this point? Okay. Any other discussion, Commissioner?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
for public opinion.
Go ahead, Stan.
Go ahead, sir. Approach the podium.
My name is Troy Chun, and I own the RV park where this camper is at.
Yes, sir.
And it's 16 by 8, and it's built out of weatherproof plywood. It's insulated. It has paneling on the inside, the ceiling, walls, and everything. It's got air conditioning, heating in it. And when you go into the, and it's got a 4-foot open air porch on it too. So it makes it altogether 16 foot long. But when you go in the door, you come to the main door of the RV and go into the RV from this porch. But it's for her kids. It's Maria's kids. Their kids are 8 and 6 years old. You know, it keeps them warm in the wintertime and cool in the summertime. It keeps them kind of out of the street and everything. But she bought this camper in the end of 2015. It's been in my RV park since May the 22nd of 2013. And when the gentleman moved it in, it had to be unloaded with a crane. But I was aware at the time, I was told that it had to be 15 feet from from the sides and the backs. But I didn't know that it meant from the camper that it was up against. Now the next camper that would be the closest to it is 22 feet from it. But it's a well-built, I don't know if y'all seen any pictures of it or anything. It's a well-built, you know, lean-to or an enclosed porch or whatever. But I'd like to see her keep it up there because she didn't know about this rule when she bought the camper.
Right.
She bought it, I think, December 2015. And I don't know if she's still paying on it or not, but, you know, it'd be nice if she could keep it there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Crystal, do you have any ideas on how they can be in compliance besides with what they have now?
To move that just to an adjacent lot, would be the only way to stay in compliance.
Okay.
You know, we sympathize with the situation, but if you allow this one, then you have other people building onto more RVs, and it could create a problem.
Right. Okay, very good.
Crystal, how long has this ordinance been in place?
Actually, the ordinance for the no structure being within 15 foot of an RV or a mobile home has been in our ordinance since it was written. That part did not change with the new
I know, the date, the year.
1971.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
On your site regulations on this new rules that went into effect, I think the first of this year, it's got 3 columns in there, and it says RVs are required to park within the boundaries of the individual RV pad so that RVs, including slide outs and extensions. Now, I don't know if this qualifies as an extension or what.
I don't believe so, sir.
Are to be a minimum of 15 feet all sides from any other RV, mobile home, or permanent structure on the adjacent site. So like I said, it's 22 feet from any other RV there.
Yes, sir. Crystal, would you explain the side out or the extensions on the RV camper?
Extensions are your roll-out patios. Your slide outs are the mechanical pieces of an RV that actually slide out from the interior.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Any other questions, discussion by commission?
Did they add on that or it came with the trailer?
No, it's just added on. You see the picture? It's just sitting next to it. Yes, sir.
Is it attached to it?
I don't believe it is. It's not attached, is it, sir?
No, it's not attached. It's portable. It can be moved without a problem, without too many hours involved anyway.
Patrick, could you have any?
No, I think,
Any other discussion from you guys?
You can build an 8x10 building without a permit, as long as it's not attached to a building. You can do that. According to Skip Conlon, he's an inspector. So he saw that, I don't know if he's seen that or not. Has he seen this? But if it's against the trail, I think he wouldn't, I think he'd say no.
Yeah, it wouldn't have passed permit.
Yeah, it's not a permanent structure, that's what it is.
Any other discussion? Carol Ann, roll call, please.
Commissioner Gandy,
Roll call vote, should I say.
Commissioner Sanchez,
No.
Commissioner Busher,
No.
Commissioner Trujillo,
No.
Mayor Collins.
No, ma'am. All right. The motion did not carry. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we consider resolution for variance at 500 East Adams Drive for mobile home lot dimensions.
We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Kristen?
This lot is the appropriate size for a mobile home. It's just pie shaped, so it's, doesn't have the right dimensions. They have, with the size of trailer they're looking at getting, it would sit in there with all the setbacks, so there would be no variance other than just removing the restriction of the dimension where it says it has to be a 40 by 100, because this is not. We have like a 95-foot front, 120 theory on this side, 120 on another side, and 5 foot at the back due to the shape of the lot.
Don't know the name's gonna block at your view from commercial, if you're coming from either direction,
No.
commercial or Washington.
So this was approved by Planning and Zoning
Yes.
Commission, and what do you say to it, Kristen?
Yeah.
Say yeah?
I think within, yeah, I approve it. I mean, he follows all the other setback regulations. So, and it's not an impairment to vision around that corner or nothing like that.
Is that a multi-family or B?
That is B, yes. Yes, sir. So he can have a single, everything else is, all the other requirements are met. It's just the basic, that this lot is not a square or rectangle sized lot.
Caroline, did we submit a resolution number for that?
Well, the other was not, so it would be 2016-41.
Did you mention that? Commissioner Trujillo, did you want to rescind and resubmit?
Vote in favor, make consideration, vote in favor of resolution for variance of, at 500 East Adams Drive, what is that? 2016-41 Adams Drive for mobile home lot dimensions.
So we have a second for that?
Yep.
Okay, we have a second for resolution 2016-41. All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion for the next resolution.
I'd like to make a motion to consider resolution for, resolution 2016-42 for the variance for lots 1 through 24 on the Sunrise addition for a 21-foot yard setback and a 5-foot rear yard setback.
Second.
We have a second. Kristen?
Okay, the developers have come up with a new construction company to build some homes there. And in order for them to have a variety of homes for individuals to choose from with these lots, they needed different setbacks.
Is it? Where's this one off of?
This is off of Polk, the 2 alcoves
Oh.
by the water tower on
The
Polk.
ones that you can't even park a, there's not even any car in.
These lots are going to have a double car garage, I guess. So there would be, here's our gentleman, you want to come up, Dave? He has more specifications on everything they're building.
Mayor and Commissioners, I appreciate the opportunity. David Gallegos for Ramirez and Sons. We are the, well, actually A and B developers, the main developers there. This time I come before you to beg for a variance. In the past, I would come before this exact commission on us, the builder that we had at that time were mispositioning houses on the lots. In order to resolve that and not have that happen again, we've changed builders. And in looking at the property design, just the way the layout is, the envelope that would house the house was a little bit hard to get in. If we don't do the setback changes, then there's only two options of houses in both those cul-de-sacs. By doing these variances, it allows probably around 8 different house designs to be able to give the customers more of what they want. And a lot of that goes into their needs and their desires. So some of these houses, even though we've got the setback designs, they may not all be 5-foot backyards, they may be greater than that. The reason we did this is to keep a standard throughout the project. Instead of coming to you every month and asking for this house, we'd like a 5-foot backyard. For this house, we'd like a 10-foot backyard. This way we keep it standard as our max. So, for instance, if one house design is smaller, they'll have different dimensions. So they may not be the 5-foot backyard, maybe 10 or even 15 foot. But this just gives us a little bit of opportunity to do it right. We learned from the first builder that we had. We're fortunate he's not here any longer, but we do want to complete the project. And the gentlemen that we have coming from Hobbs are very detailed. We trust them that within a year we'll be completed with these 24 houses if we're able to give the opportunity to the customers. And I'll stand for any questions.
What size are the lots and what size is the house you're putting on the lot roughly?
They actually vary. The lots, depending on where in the pie you are, the backside of the pie, they aren't square, but they're huge yards. So those will probably take larger homes.
Are they roughly 5,000 square foot lots or
All of them are larger.
Larger than that.
larger than that?
Right.
6,154 was the smallest lot in the area.
Fundamental house.
9,900 is the
Houses
largest
go
lot.
from 1,200 to 2,600.
So 1,200, 2,600 foot on the housing. But it depends on the lot and what the customer wants. So that at least gives them options.
Well, the biggest concern I have is after the driving over there and realizing that one of the houses was built and then the guy parked his truck and the 8-foot bed of his truck actually hangs out in the middle of the street because he doesn't park inside the garage, which it wouldn't fit in there anyway. You know, that's my largest concern is because the parking issues are absolutely horrendous over there. Because you figure that average person has 2 cars, not. The average family anymore has 4 to 6 cars. So, you know, my question is, how are we going to get all the cars in these cars, on these lots? So, because
And actually, that one's probably on Polk, if I remember right. That goes back to the builder, because we had this issue from the start, and we would give the builder the envelope. We'd ask him to stay in that boundary, and he would place it on your property. He didn't care. We had one house was across the actual property line, and we had to re-subdivide that whole 2-block area to absorb that because we couldn't move the house. But like I say, now, these gentlemen are a lot smarter than he was. What they're looking at is they'll have 2-car garages. There's even an opportunity, we were talking about with a 5-foot backyard, there's no room back there for a secondary storage building. So a thought is, if they wanted to go ahead and increase the area for their garage, to have basically a 3-car garage, but one of them would be facilitate a storage facility, because with that 5-foot setback, because of our rules that we have in place, they would not be able to have a secondary building. So they're trying to look at all that. So when they go to the customer, they're going to give them all the agreed upon through the city, so that we don't have to come back to you for the 5th time. I believe I've been before you 4 times.
Mr. Gagos, I appreciate Ramirez and Sons paving Birch Street. I know it took a while to get there, but I'm glad it's there. I appreciate that.
Well, we thank y'all for giving us a little bit of time. Part of it we're hung up on where to go next. So I'm very grateful to ABS Homes out of Hobbs. They're doing actually the Zia crossing. If you guys get a chance to drive by there and look at some of the housing, the quality that's in there, it's one of those things. So we're grateful that they took us on as a project to be able to come and complete that, because 4 years ago when we started this. We thought we were going to be a really quick turnaround to be able to give the community a quality piece of property. But like I say, we didn't have choices on the contractors. Now we do, and we're completely behind this group of gentlemen.
Where is it, Zia Crossing?
Zia Crossing is on Millen Drive. If you're going into Hobbs, you turn right past the casino, you'll see a set of houses back there. There's,
Nice.
yeah, it's a really, really nice facility.
Any other questions, Commissioner?
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. So, Crystal,
Yeah,
planning and zoning recommended approval?
yeah,
Okay. Contingent upon covenant stating that accessory buildings are not allowed if setback and distance requirements per city code are not met, correct?
yes. And they did add that to their covenants.
Okay, very good.
They brought me a copy of
All right. Any other discussion? No? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain another motion. Yes, sir. We have a motion.
I'll second it.
We have a second. Gary?
If I may, Mayor and Commissioner, I don't have a lot to report about the payables. The most expensive item that paid for $59,741 was our agreed upon parking lot behind our old fire station to help accommodate the county. I really don't have anything I think that was really worth mentioning. If you have any questions, I'm available.
Commissioners, any questions?
I'm available.
Okay, very good. No further discussion? All right, very good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, now it's time for public comment. Anybody in the audience wish to come up and speak, you're welcome to do so. We're limited to about 3 minutes, if you don't mind, we'd appreciate it. Identify yourself and address the commission.
Mayor Campos, Commission, my name is Joel Gomez. This is Kenny Kim. We just have, want to ask permission. We had a friend pass away a little over a month ago. You guys, I don't know, a lot of you knew Sean Sanchez. And he left 2 children, Maddox and Macy, and his parents and his sister set up a foundation for them. And we're looking at a little benefit, a little charity event to raise money for them. And the way we want to do this is a festival, like a music festival, food trucks, maybe a cook-off. And we know, let's see. The things that we're planning on having is like a fun run in the morning, have the cook-off start, food trucks and vendors, and then in the evening, well, for about noon, having local bands, having bands from out of town, and we're going to look at raising money from local businesses to help pay for those expenses. And at the end of this, have all the money go to the foundation and to help maybe do this again next year, make it a little bigger. Right. Our questions to you guys is what we need to do to get the park reserved. That's where we'd like to have it. Sean's parents have asked that we not pursue the, picnic license, keep it alcohol free. We want it to be fun for all ages.
A family-friendly event is what we want to do.
Right.
With music throughout the entire day, different activities. So.
And in here it tells you, we have ideas. We've spoke to a band. They're called the Kyle Park Band. They're a Texas band. We've spoken to local bands such as the Liquid Gypsies. There's some friends of ours that have played here in Lovington before. They're playing here next month. They're from Redoso, and they've got on board. And we just want to have, just an all-day event, you know, keep it all fun and fun for the whole family and all ages.
We also plan this first date, this initial one, to be that Saturday, when the fair starts. Hoping to attract people from out of town to come and watch this band play because they're up and coming. So, and that's what we want to do every year, of course, is bring in a bigger band to kind of kick off Fair and Rodeo if we have it around that time, if it goes over well. But to attract more people from out of town to our community. So, let's see. Yeah, we have a list of questions that we need, you know, as far as what kind of permits we need to get from the city to have this event at the park. Let's see. You know, as far as noise ordinance, I believe it's midnight on weekends. Just things of that sort. Insurance. So we will provide security, of course, need be. We'll have to figure out, depending on, you know, a rough estimate, how many people we plan to have there and how many guards we need. We would like to fence off the stage area, so, you know, for our ticket sales and things like that. So, yeah, we're looking for a little guidance from you guys as far as how we could do this and do it right.
You said this is gonna be an all-day thing, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not gonna be at night, right? No night thing?
No, well, we're looking to end the music right around 11:30 with the noise ordinance at midnight, being at midnight. So 11:30 would be it for as far as the music. So.
And I did notice that, I heard you say a while ago, and I was reading it. So you're gonna actually sell tickets at the entrance when they enter, or?
For the concert itself, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we'll have other activities like the fun run, things like that would be free to the public. And then, of course, the cook-off, we'd have, you know, people throughout the park to where they could set up and compete.
And what I was gonna recommend was that we find, Caroline, who would be a good contact person for this? So we can come up for discussion, they can get all their ducks in a row, we can too, and then we can come up for discussion, and then we can move it to an action item. Could that be right, Patrick? Something like that?
Well, I think so. I think you go through this similar process, you know, like when Kiwanis would have an event, 4th of July at the park, and we used to have some of those events take place. There were issues about how they would reserve a portion of the park, what kind of permits they would need, insurance, and that kind of stuff. And so I'm not sure who the contact person would be, but I would imagine that.
Come see James.
All right.
But I think he could go through and pretty much answer most of those questions. And it should give us enough time to look at that issue before August the 6th.
Yeah, and there's a process, we just go
Right.
through there, get everything in a row, and then we'll have a discussion amongst us, and then we can move it to an action item thereafter.
Okay. And with a lot of the money coming from sponsors, you know, we want to make sure we have the, you know, you guys' permission before we pursue that with them and go any further.
Kenny, if you plan on having a jumper or anything like that, then you have to make sure they do have a business license and they have to have insurance.
On the jumpers.
On the
Okay.
jumper. Yeah, and we have to have at least, Dennis is in here, not, at least 2 weeks notice before to make sure they have a jumper, because isn't there a fee they have to put up for that? But check with me to see if they have, or Anna, to see if they have a business license, if they have the correct amount of insurance that's required for a jumper.
What do they call it? Carnival insurance? Is that correct?
No, that's a whole different deal.
There's a separate, like a rider on their insurance policy that covers that specific issue.
Okay. I appreciate you guys thinking of Sean's family like that. That's very good of you guys to do that. I appreciate that.
We could place it on the agenda for in 2 weeks, so if we move fast on it, we can get discussion on the table in 2 weeks, and 2 weeks after that, it'd be an action item, then you'll have your solid answer. You'll be on more solid ground within 30 days.
Okay.
Perfect.
So if you move on it, at least you'll have an answer in 30 days, what you can and cannot do.
I'm sure James will be more than happy to answer your
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else for public comment?
If I may, your mayor,
Yes, sir.
one of the things that I did miss was survey that we take is related to the plastic bags.
Oh, yes, yes.
I just want to let you know that a survey was just a public survey on our website, had over 384 participants that said yes or no to would you support a ban or limitation on the use of plastic bags in the city of Lovington. 52% said no. However, we plan on beginning a second survey that would survey the businesses in town and get their perspective as well.
Okay, very good. I believe Santa Fe has a ban on plastic bags like that. And I think if you want a bag to carry out your items, or whatever, you got to buy that bag. So that's another thing to consider as well.
10%. They go to Walmart and buy a bunch of stuff. You get your bag and carry it out piece by piece.
All right, anybody else for public comment? All right, nobody else, looks like. All right, we'll call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.